Shalom.
Shalom.
Brothers here from Great Millstone Atlanta. We want to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the Akamai push the word of sincerity and truth. Can you make sure it's rolling too? Yeah, we're going to go into the lesson on what's hot and what's current prophecies that's coming to pass as we speak. These protests and riots, is biblical prophecy in itself. Of course, backtracking a little bit to 2019 going into 2020, you had all these different cases of prophecies that was just spiraling out of control, so to speak, which we already know it's all controlled by Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, but it was spiraling out of control of the government or the powers, as we know, their hands. You had of course, the coronavirus. You had different deaths that took place of major so-called not financial, but entertainment moguls such as Kobe Bryant, and other individuals had died. And now fast forward into now, we know all the events that took place, the terrorist attack of Soleimani, that killed him, the general in Iran, the locust outbreak. It's been so much things, even the Australia fires that took place, killing they said damn near 1 billion animals. Animals and mammals and also insects accumulated or combined, they said it equaled damn near up to 1 billion, if not a little bit more than 1 billion, according to the individuals that put out the information. And now fast forward now, you see the coronavirus has, that outbreak has shut down a mass amount of, warehouses, basically stores, manufacturing plants, just corporations on a whole. And now we see, and in today's time, with today's date, 31st of May. All right, this is bringing about a new month, and we see that these protesters are jumping, more and more. So what would June bring? That's the question. June is gonna bring nothing but more hell, man. More hell and havoc, and it's a lot of things that's pending, in these times that we're living in, and we just have to go through it. So that's why we, named it that fire is sent, which Yahweh Shah spoke about that, and you could actually read it if you could go up maybe 2 verses, Luke 12 and was that 47?
Okay. This is Luke chapter 12, verse 47. And that servant which knew his Lord's will and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. Verse 48.
Matter of fact, you can just jump to verse 49.
Okay, done. Luke chapter 12, verse 49. I am come to send fire on earth. And what will I if it be already kindled? Yeah, and
Yahweh Shah said he come to send fire on the earth. Isaiah 66 and 15. You read that real fast? Because when the Lord comes, what is he going to come with? Is he going to come with the high power fire extinguishers to extinguish them? He could have said, I come to cut out the fires, but he said he come to send fire upon earth. So even this flaming, raging inferno that's burning all throughout America, from New York to Georgia. Matter of fact, I have a list of even all the states that's been getting busy. Atlanta, which the city of Atlanta in Georgia. You have Texas, Dallas, Texas. You got Nashville, Tennessee. You got Los Angeles. You got Las Vegas, Nevada. Portland, Oregon. Seattle, Washington. Minneapolis, Minnesota. Salt Lake City, Utah. Chicago, Illinois. Cincinnati, Indiana. NYC, New York. Ohio, Cleveland. So those fires are raging all throughout, man. And you could look at it on the news broadcasters, man. Whether you're going to CNN, you go to NBC, whatever, big or local media broadcasters that you actually look at, you see nothing but flames and destruction, man. So read that.
This is Isaiah chapter 66, verse 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire.
Yeah, so when the Lord comes, he's going to come with fire, rebuke, and destruction. What does the Bible say that it speaks of in Ezekiel? mournings, lamentations, and woe.
Right.
So we have to get more accustomed to seeing these things. Getting accustomed to seeing women shot in the head, children pepper sprayed and beat, and took it from their family members. You know, this is gonna be the new normal, man. You know, brothers and other individuals actually being, you know, mowed over by the cops, or cops being killed in the streets. You know, bloody, you know, just blood that's actually being drenched upon the shores of America. Because this is what this country was founded upon anyways, but death, bloodshed, and robbery.
It's just coming back. It's caught up with Esau.
And it's coming back 10 times 10. The scripture speaks about recompense, him double that he recompensed unto thee. And what is this known as? In Nahum, was that second or the third chapter, the bloody city. Nahum 3 and what? Scripture says this is a bloody city and it's all full of lies. So now we're you know, as people are getting more excited and their adrenaline is rushing, what do they want to see? They want to see blood, man. They're in that purge, that real carnivore, bloodthirsty, berserk, you know, Wolverine destruction spirit, man. They're damn near all in an extremely chaotic spirit.
Man, those movies like the first Purge really prepped the minds of people and to the times to come now. It seems like everybody has a role to play, or know their role to play in these protesting riots.
Yeah, they came in like fucking Legos, man.
Yeah, some people hitting the windows, some people hopping on top of the signs and tearing them down, and going after police. And it's like the first Purge.
They know they lie.
Yep.
And wickedness, you know. I mean, you know, like you say, you got skateboarders, they know what they supposed to do. Then you got the looters. Then you got individuals that ain't really for loot and they just want to set shit to the pyros, which are the, you know, inferno makers, or the, you know, the ones that light up flames. But you got the ones that really ain't into that, you know. So they just got them cussing cops out and bringing it to the cops' front door, you know. And really, this is all the movie of the Most High. At the end of the day, the Lord is setting the stage. When you have movies that take place, which you have the theatrics and you have the setting, you know, you have everybody that takes place for the, you know, which that is usually that's the stuff that happens in the background before the, you know, the main. You'll see the main characters fighting and stuff like that, and then you'll see all the you know, the chaos that takes place in the background. Which really, this is just background entry for the bigger picture. This ain't the bigger picture right here. Riots is not the bigger picture of America. Right. The bigger picture is World War III, Yahweh Shah coming back, which, you know, of course, the chipping, that's major prophecy. Those are the really major prophecies. This is a big prophecy too, but it's still bigger things that are to take place.
Verse 16. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord should be many.
Yeah, so these different individuals that's actually fighting, and you know, some of them are killing or even being killed by the police. This has, you know, the measurement of cruelty is nothing compared to when the Lord comes back.
That's right.
What's gonna happen when they see, you know, these protesters? Say for instance they double or triple in size, and they see a giant ship. Fleets of ships just come from the heavens, just sending utter destruction. They're going to rely on the government to take them out. Everybody, that's why the scripture says that every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess about Yahweh Shah being the Lord and Savior, man. Because that's a whole nother, like you have on the in the animal kingdom, you have, you know, prey, then you have, you know, predators. But it's levels to predators. You got predators that get preyed on by other predators, which they call apex predators. Yahweh Shai and the fleet of mighty angels, that's the apex of all predators. Esau's a predator. He's known as what? The 1 Peter 5 and 8. He's a hunter. You know, scripture says, matter of fact, can you read that real fast? 1 Peter 5 and 8. He's known as a lion. But it's levels to it, man. Because Yahweh Shai, you got it?
It's like he's that old serpent, like it speaks in Revelation chapter 20, verse 6. Really, the whole chapter talking about the old serpent, that old dragon. Yeah. That's Esau. He's the subtle dragon of wickedness.
Yep.
I like it.
Yep, you got it.
This first Peter chapter 5 and verse 8 says, "Be sober, be vigilant, Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour.
Yeah, we see that even going on in today's time. This is the time to be extremely sober. And what does the scripture speak about being sober? To not be induced or indoctrinated with new philosophies. Because this is a new wine right here. This protest, this is a form of wine that's getting a lot of people drunk and integrated. Even whites, even straight up Edomites that's in the protest, they're drunk on wine, man. This is the new vibe. This is what's trending. If you would have a trending list and you would actually put it, on top 5 in the world, which you can go to CNN. That's what do they show? The major news broadcasts and the major events. These protests and riots are number 1 right now.
Yeah.
This is what's trending. This is the new wine. This is what people are hip to. Because what? You steal Jordans. You can set buildings on fire that might have, did you wrong. You could really get in the spirit of revenge and get away with it.
Get away. Yeah.
You know how many people got away last night? Hundreds of thousands of individuals got away with stolen goods. And the individuals that's getting locked up, they're more than likely going to get a slap on the wrist. But it's going to get to a point where they're going to really start tightening grips, on these individuals that's stealing and robbing. They're going to start killing them in the streets, man.
Yeah, because if Esau can do that overseas, how much more over here in his own backyard?
Exactly. And get away with it. I got a quick one for you.
Yeah, you got it.
This is Revelation chapter 6 and verse 4. It says, And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword.
Yeah, you can go on.
So like, the deacon was saying, about how Esau basically, thrives, on, the death and destruction. And like we were speaking before, Esau could have easily not had you people on the street, man. All they had to do was already had the military set up. Because if the military is set up, then it's only so much you gonna do because they use more force than just a regular cop or a sheriff or whatever, man. But Esau's blessing was the sword. So you can't fight, physically with his blessing, man.
Yeah. And like I said, you're not really even doing what George Floyd wanted. I did a lesson earlier today where I was speaking about, is this what George Floyd actually wanted? Which more than likely he didn't want this shit. He didn't want this bullshit to take place. And really, I was just saying that humorously, but in a literal sense though, this what Jake is doing deviates from really the plans of leveling up. Still in fucking Jordans and sneakers and Nikes exclusive. What's them joints that Jake wear now? Supremes, Supreme clothing and all that shit. That's not gonna get you on top of the food chain, so to speak. That's not gonna get you salvation. That's not gonna get you entry into the system how you want to be. That's not gonna integrate you. Really now, what do they say? You're Antifa and terrorists. All these different little niggas and nigga women that's out here busting open, federal windows and federal corporate windows and destroying their states. They're all enemies of the state. They're not United States citizens. It was a mayor. I think it was the mayor of Minnesota. He was like, these ain't U.S. citizens. He said these aren't the United States citizens. I know. He said these are terrorists. So what did he do? He just cut the line. He just chopped you out. Even though you're in America, you're no longer a part of this corporation. You are an enemy of the state. And they're going to do whatever, by any means necessary, whether to go inside your building, bust open your doors, lock you up, beat you.
Yeah, it's domestic terrorists.
Yep, domestic terrorists. To get the point, especially when these vaccinations take place, because what might be a narrative that they push with this vaccination? Oh, these terrorists don't want to take the vaccination. They want to spread destruction and also sicknesses, and they don't really care. They're like careless barbarians. Because during the time of Rome, which we're going to get back with that Luke 20:12, during the time of Rome, what did you have? The barbarians that was enemies of Rome, man.
Yeah.
It's that same. Yep, the Goths. We had the Visigoths and things of that nature. The same spirit is coming back, especially the Jews, the Israelites. So you got some more? Or you was done with that?
That was it on that.
Okay, you go back to that Luke 12 and 49. On down.
This is Luke chapter 12, verse 49. I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled?
Yeah, so when the Lord brings fire, guess what? When the Lord comes down to bring fire, fire is already going to be a set ablaze. You know, he's basically, mid-entry in the party that's already been set. It's not going to start with the Lord. It's going to really end with the Lord, man. This thing is starting now. Him and the contemporaries of the men that accompany Yahweh Shah, which were the prophets, before, and his predecessors, they already prophesied this word. Even us, prophesying this word of events that might surely come to pass.
That's right.
And we see them coming to pass. 2nd Ezra 16, 2nd Ezra 15. 2nd Ezra the 9th chapter.
Yeah.
2nd Ezra the 8th chapter. Revelation the 12th chapter. Revelation the 13th chapter. All these 17, 18. These prophecies is booming, man. That's why it's like at this point you can go chapter for chapter with the Daniel. The 10 toes falling, and with that Daniel the 2nd chapter. Yeah. Prophecies all over the place. What the apostles will say, prophecies are popping like popcorn, man. It's raging, and it's like, damn, that's prophecy. That's prophecy. That's prophecy. So when the Lord actually comes, it's the stage is already going to be set. It's for him to finish his work, clean everything up. Some more.
Verse 50. But I have baptism to be baptized with, and how am I straightening till it be accomplished?
That's really the main point. You had some?
Yeah, I have this one.
Okay.
This is Malachi chapter 4 verse 1. It says, "For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts."
Yeah, and those flames, they're irreversible. When them flames start setting, it ain't gonna be nobody that's gonna quench it. I think that tells you that in 2nd Ezra, I think it's 16 and 1. The Lord talking about shooting the arrow and nobody could turn it back. When it's when it's shot from a mighty archer. When flames go, they turn up, man. And the Lord, what is it? You'll see in the ancient world that it'd be a spark and a man that blows on it. Or some people would hit the rocks, then they would blow on it, and then they would catch it through wind or some type of oxygen. You need oxygen to keep a fire going. So the right elements plus that spark of heat can set forests on fire, man. That's when you have wildfires. Wildfires aren't just starting for somebody going in a forest and just lighting up a leaf. No, a lot of times they say it sparks from just dry heat, extreme heat. Plus they'll say, it might be like a electrical, spark. Any type of spark will hit and take place, and even the dry heat alone can actually, they say, can actually help excite a fire. So what's going on now? All this, I would say we're really in a dry zone. There's so much stuff that's going on. Jake is not eating how they're supposed to. Jake is not, in the predicament that they want to. Majority of Jake's is out of work. So these protests and all these different big destructive events taking place, it's easy. It's easy and it's quick to take place because Jake has nothing else to get into. They're fully red hot now. All they can focus on is the news. Destruction, death, purging, releasing some type of anger. What he said, suicide is at all time, robbery is at all time. Jake can only resort to at this point, getting at somebody, man.
Yeah.
Guys, what was that I had? That was it?
Yeah.
Well, I had read mine,
I got precept.
Yeah, you get a 2nd Ezra 9 too.
Alright.
You can read it.
You want me to grab it?
I grab it. I got it.
That second age 15 to 15. That's we definitely living in those times, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I was like, yeah, brother been checking them videos out, man. People been getting their fucking, mouths busting. Cops are getting very belligerent. Now they get to get real stupid and be justified for it, because cops been stupid. But they were supposed to uphold a certain banner of America. Now they just, with the National Guard, and when you have the National Guard and you have FEMA and you have these, these government-based troops in the country, they don't have to uphold your Constitution.
Yeah, they ain't on your side no more.
They're no longer on your side.
They looking for the boss.
What happened? They was walking down the street, chicks was recording. If you got a camera in your hand, you might get shot in the face, man.
Yeah.
Just for recording.
Mm-hmm.
If you outside, you might get the living shit beat out of you.
Yeah.
And who are they gonna say? Oh, well, this National Guard's officer, man. I don't even think the National Guard actually have badges to even show you their name.
Yeah, they don't give a damn.
They don't ask you when you see JK. What is your name? I'm gonna report you to your sergeant.
Yeah.
What's the main National Guard? I'm gonna write you up.
Yeah, it's irrelevant.
Yeah,
None of that matters.
You ain't even gonna get that close to the National Guard without getting touched.
Yep. And there ain't no lock up, so there's no prosecution. This National Guard, choked out this Jake, and it's getting to the point where people are just dying and they just getting left. Like this one individual who was under that Mack truck, that I think it was a Target truck. It might not have been truck.
FedEx.
The FedEx truck. They was riding and they got caught up in the truck and they damn near looked like they was riding for a little second and they got put to death. But you think they're gonna find the FedEx truck and investigate?
I could have said protesters. You put that one word protesters. I'm like, oh shit, fuck that.
You a villain.
Right.
You a super villain at the time, man. But you got it.
Okay. This is 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then should thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
Therefore, when there should be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world.
And how do you measure the times? Through prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
Scripture speak about the reed that's likened unto a rod, which is the measurement stick, and we measure. Second Ezra, yep, that came to pass during the Romans. Yep, that came to pass during the Grecians. That came to pass during the Babylonians. Oh, well, this prophecy, that's going to come to pass now. Revelation 13 and 16. That didn't happen yet, man. It's pending, but it hasn't happened yet. So that's the measurement of the times. Keep going. And Jake don't even know that they're in the midst of prophecy. They don't know that they live in the 2 Ezra 15, where it speaks about one people shall rise against another with swords in their hands. They shall not regard kings nor princes.
We living out that script.
Where was Jake at? Jake was in front of Washington, D.C., whooping up on the Secret Service's asses and getting their asses kicked. And they were in front of the governor's mansion. That's that prophecy where it speaks about they shall not regard princes nor kings. Mm-hmm. They didn't want to step out, the governors to step out so that they could have some diplomatic conversation. They wanted to huck those big bricks in it at their goddamn heads, man. Jake wants blood at this point. And it ain't no turning Jake down. You got a couple of Jakes that's trying to push against the current and talk to a Negro or two about showing that this is selfish and this ain't right. Niggas ain't trying to hear that shit.
Niggas ain't trying to hear it.
Even if it is wrong and it's foolish, Jake lost it all.
Mm-hmm.
They just want blood to be spilled. If they could go out, they want to go out tagging somebody else on some kamikaze, type stuff. But you got it, bro.
Okay. Verse 4, then should thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest.
Yep. And the end is manifest. We're at the end. Yahweh Shah prophesied the end. It was that Hebrews, the first chapter. The end really started with Yahweh Shah actually being born up until the point of his death. Mm-hmm. And prophecy started rolling like that.
Yep. And
now we're at the latter, pages of the end of the chapter. Mm-hmm. That's when stuff really gets good. We're in the climax. It's still the action scenes. We start to see the action and thing takes place, but we're really at the end. Mm-hmm. So us brothers, what should we be doing in these times? Should we be looking online on YouTube how to make a Molotov cocktail at home. You know, how to actually take gunpowder and create our own bullets for cheap. Where's the best local areas? What's the best gun for riots? What's the best military? Scriptures don't say that. What's the best solution to get pepper spray out of your eye after getting maced? That ain't the job of a prophet or man of the Lord, man. Our job is to push this word, man.
That's right.
To prophesy unto the end. Until the Lord removes us off them streets. And even then, when things take place, are we gonna be hucking bats, through Atlanta police department glass or squad cars? Are we gonna be doing these things? With 7 Jakes on one side flipping over a car?
Right.
That's foolishness, man.
That shows you. You remember? Y'all probably remember that Nike commercial not too long ago?
What? The
They
don't
were starting riots.
Yeah, it was riots in the streets and.
It's like that Church in the Wild
Yeah.
video.
Yeah, they was still trying to loot and get shoes. Telling the cashier what size they wear and what kind of shoe they want. That's the same thing that Jake is doing now.
Yeah, the
man.
elite, they know.
Yeah,
man.
that's how you know that the elite and these higher ups know what they already know what the mass majority of the people are gonna do. It's just being set up, man. Just like you had the incident where you got the big, they just got big piles of bricks sitting in the cities, just sitting there. It's already set up, man.
2 Corinthians 2:11.
Mm-hmm.
So on that 2nd Ezra 9.
Yeah.
We can keep going on that.
Says, even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonder and powerful works and endings and effects and signs.
Yeah, we remember, of course, the genesis of things from reading the book of Genesis, all the way until the point of the end, where it says it has endings with powerful works and effects made and signs. So these things that we see, let's deal in terms of theatrics, the special effects. What's going on? Fireworks are being popped off. You seeing all kind of flames. That's what makes a movie really good, especially dealing in forms of action. You turn on think of Bad Boys or John Wick or these action-based movies, especially these city-based, destruction-based movies like Bushwick.
Yeah, like the end of the time video movies.
Mm-hmm.
End of the world.
Yeah, those post-apocalyptic movies.
Mm-hmm.
If there ain't no flames, really, if there ain't no cars and shit burning up, you're like, yo, what the fuck am I even watching, man?
Yeah.
Or people getting their heads cracked open in the middle of the streets.
Yeah, you were like, it wasn't enough action for me.
You be like, it wasn't enough action. But the Lord is giving you the action.
Mm-hmm.
And it's showing you these events that's taking place, showing you we're at the end. That's why the scripture says, and it fit in with the effects and signs. Special, what do they call it? Special effects.
Yeah.
You know?
In the movies, yeah.
No special effects. You're like, God damn.
Yeah.
But if the movie didn't have the special effects, you wouldn't be wanting to watch that shit.
That should be back on.
Okay, it's back on. But you keep going.
Verse 7, and everyone that should be saved and should be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders. For I have sanctified them for me from the beginning.
Yep.
Dang, that's heavy.
Yeah, so it's going to be individuals that's going to be able to escape. Even though it's going to be a raging hell, it's basically going to be pandemonium everywhere, man.
Yeah.
We seeing what...
Most of the 5th chapter.
Yep. And it was the 5th chapter. This is still a light introduction. It's going to compound. First the people, then the wild, the weathers, then the we're at war, World War III. The dollar has collapsed. There's a lack of food, famine. This is still like stage 1 or 2, man. If you're dealing this really in stages, this thing hasn't really got hot like that.
Yeah, people still going to work and stuff. So.
No, that's why we always say, or refer back to Matthew the 24th chapter when it says that these are just the beginning of the sorrows, man. This is just the beginning, man. And we were speaking too, right before we got on the camera, about how Jake, at this point in time, Jake still can go back home after they leave the city. They can still, like the brother Kabash just said, they still gotta go to work the next day. You know, so it's still a certain amount of what should I say?
Security.
Yeah, security that these people have that's going to be taken away from them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I appreciate if anybody having that. God, so this is Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 15. It says, "See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil."
Yeah, the word redeem means to buy back. The scripture says to redeem the time because the days are evil. So we know what time we in, and in order to buy back the time, we have to basically be in the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai, because this is the only thing that matters. Everything else is not going to actually stabilize you. Isaiah 33:6 speaks about how wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times. Protesting and rioting, and even having goddamn police, you can have a fully, a full-scale militarized equipment, gun and all, the gun, the helmet, the badge and the suit, camouflage suit, whatever. That still it's not going to get you anywhere, man.
Mm-hmm.
The wisdom and knowledge of Yahweh Shema Shai, knowing when to stay at bay,
Mm-hmm.
knowing when to stay low, knowing when to go high, knowing when to pray, knowing when to flee.
Mm-hmm.
Because Jake is really is on a rampage, man.
Confused.
They're confused. When you see these stupid animals, they just charge forward.
Mm-hmm.
Like like you'll see a stampede of animals that are run off a cliff. You have certain animals that be in the front that see it's a cliff coming, and they can't even fucking stop it.
Mm-hmm.
And they be so stupid. The ones that that run towards the cliff, they don't actually even consider to stop. They just been running so far forward, and they have such momentum that they think that's all. That's really all they know, to the point where they get to the point where they just fly off the cliff, man.
Exactly.
And that's you, Jakes, man.
Yeah.
What the scripture says, how Jake is like sheep to the slaughter.
Mm-hmm. Run right towards the slaughter, man. This is what Jake doing.
And they're running right into the white man's hands.
Yeah.
The white man is a cunning hunter. What does the scripture
Mm-hmm.
speak about? The Psalms, if I'm not mistaken, 120, I think 6, speaks about the snare of that fowler. And a lot of Jakes is getting caught in the hand of that fowler. Esau loves to set traps, man.
Mm-hmm.
You think you got this man by destroying some of his buildings, and basically, blowing up some of his Psalms 124 and 7, blowing up some of his squad cars, and beating up a couple of military men. That's not a bigger. The bigger part of the war. And Jake don't really see the reinforcements. They don't see that they could be drowned out by the troops. They don't see that they don't have to provide them food.
Mm-hmm.
They can say, Esau can really say there's a famine. We ain't feeding you niggas no more.
Yeah.
And just redirect all that food to rich facilities that's not protesting.
Hey, add to your point, they can, all them guys or the people that's out there protesting in the city, they can block that city off and say, y'all ain't going home. You know, that's a siege.
That's a siege. Yep, and starve you niggas out.
Mm-hmm. You want this song?
Yeah.
It's Psalms 124 and 7.
If you got something.
It says, "Our soul is escaped as a bird out of the snare of the fowlers.
Mm-hmm.
The snare is broken, and we are escaped."
Yeah, and only few will escape. Who's the one that's a fowler? Esau's the fowler.
Mm-hmm.
When you see these different fowlers, they're masters at catching birds. And some birds are extremely hard to catch. A bird is an aerial animal, and few times it lands within bait range, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
You got to know how to bring a bird within your circumference in order to really catch him. Knowing how to bait him in, and knowing how to, appease his lust, so to speak, to get him to the point where you can clamp him.
Mm-hmm.
And Esau is that grabber, man.
Yeah.
That's why now they have a more justification for NDAA. Remember, when these legislations pass, it might be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So some of these legislations Esau be activating now be fucking 40, 50 years old, man.
Yeah.
So just because they'll pass something, don't mean they're gonna use it the next day. We just passed this legislation. 3 days later, it don't work like that, man. They put it in the books for just like cars. When you get your cards dealt, you know, brothers that's familiar with cards, whether you play poker or, you know, spades, whatever card game, you never play all, you know, you never reveal your hand and you never play all your best cards at once. You save cards. You know, the perfect opportunity to drop certain cards so that you can, you know, actually win. And Esau does that through his policy and his legislation. You got some more on that?
Verse 8. This last verse is, our help is in the name of the Lord who made heaven and earth.
Yeah, so we gotta put our help in Yahweh by Shema Shai. He's the one that made heaven and earth, and he will protect us.
That's the key ingredient that these people are missing. They're going every which route they're taking, but going straight to the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shai.
Yeah,
that's why that plan not gonna work, man.
Then you had this one fathead nigga in Chicago that, you know, leaped upon a horse and he gonna scream out Israel.
Yeah.
Nah, don't scream us out.
Yeah. That ain't us.
Which he more than likely he didn't belong, you know, to Great Millstone, so to speak. He wasn't a part of Great Millstone. More than likely he was in a, you know, maybe IUIC, ISGJ, one of those Israelites that's not affiliated with us because we don't condone that dumb shit. You know, first off, you protesting for a cause that, you know, that's not your fight. You know, Esau, you know, even though Esau does kill Jake, and we don't, you know, it ain't like we, which niggas is niggas. When Jake get killed, you know, scripture speak about righteous being perished. Yeah. None shall be innocent. But it ain't like, you know, when Jake gets smoked, you know, which we know the scriptures at the end of the day. He might have been a 2/3 nigga anyways. Yeah. You know, so we don't really feel any sympathy. But when, you know, Jake get killed, it ain't like we go out there and protest on behalf of niggas and all that. So for that Jake to even be out there, one, and to actually take the white man's horse, two, you already know he ain't got no type of affiliation with us. What the fuck is you out there for anyways, man? Yeah. What are you trying to accomplish, let alone taking a white man's horse? And what are you gonna do? Take the horse to your house? To his apartment. Have you thought about that part? Taking it to your fucking apartment in Chicago and feeding? What does a horse need to eat? A nigga don't know, man. Right. You gotta take the horse to the house and fucking try to give him a bowl of goddamn tricks, man. You know? And, well, I guess he don't like that, you know. Well, we eating tricks in this house. If you ain't no tricks, you ain't eating. Yeah. Fucking big ass horse damn near half the size of your apartment.
Nigga trying to break the horse in by giving cereal.
That was gonna fuck him up, man. That's Jake, man. Fucking sausage patties in the fridge, man. Jake's simple, man. That's why I said we have no affiliation with that madness, man. The Lord is gonna be the one to step in. But hey, guess what? Jake is laying the stage though. You can't do nothing against the truth before the truth.
That's right.
So Jake that's actually even, you know, raging, hell, throwing bombs and blowing shit up. Whether it's them or actually left-hand extremists, you know, it's all you know, designed by Yahweh Shema Shai. Some more on that we finna close too.
No, that was it on that one.
Okay, get that.
Romans chapter 11 verse 7. What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded.
If I can make a point, because he said Israel obtained not that which he's seeking for, because you had the video with the two Jake, the older Jake and the younger one, arguing on, you know, what's the correct way, you know, to get what they want or what Israel wanted, which neither one had the answer, man. You know, the answer, like we're going into, the answer is reverting back to the law, statutes, and commandments in the scriptures, man. You know, that's how you're going to get it, about seeking salvation. You know, anything that you do as far as riots, becoming a police officer, trying to become a judge, it's all for naught, man. You know, it's all for naught. You got it.
According as it is written, Yahweh hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear, unto this day.
Yeah, and even in the midst of all this protest and stuff, guess what? You had prophets in these cities, you know, and a lot of these locations that these Jakes are, prophesying the word, letting them know that this shit was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
And Jake walked past us.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're in the midst of the battle.
Yeah. They even went to our old camp spot. CNN.
They went to our old camp spot. They didn't regard what we were saying. Men on the streets that was here actually spoke about it. And then they're getting corralled by celebrities to, go and blow shit up. Which these niggas ain't really in the midst. It's a couple of these little maggots that's turning things up. But for the most part, these niggas got shit to lose. That's the thing about them. LeBron James ain't finna go out there and fucking throw no Molotov cocktails and Gucci.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You know? It's more like this nigga's invested in a lot of those companies. Nike and all that shit. Don't he got a Nike contract?
Yeah, he got a Nike.
Where the fuck is MJ? That's how you know you're true sellouts, man.
Mm-hmm.
There's levels to that sellout shit too. Them Jakes they on hush.
Yeah.
And if they say something, it's some vague bullshit.
Yeah, some vague,
Like, yeah, whatever.
yeah.
But when it comes to that, other situations, they be front and center.
Mm-hmm.
Oprah and her books of fucking emotional feminism,
Yeah.
she squared away with that. But when it comes to, those big boy, see, Jake can't handle prophecy, man.
Yeah.
When it comes to big prophecies and these major events,
Can't handle it.
yeah, Jake buckles up.
You can't handle the truth.
You can't handle
the truth.
Can't handle the truth, man.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where the men of the Lord take the helm, man. That's where we are front and center. That's where we are the vanguards, to prophesy this word and let you know all the things that come. And guess what? We tell you the things that's going to happen after these riots.
Mm-hmm.
It's still so much things to take place. Like you'll watch a show, and then, the show might have already already had a beginning and ending. But, you might be on season 3,
Mm-hmm.
and Jake will tell you, like, oh, yo, season 7, man.
Yeah.
That's when. But you're like, man, I ain't trying to hear that shit. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. I just want to get to that point.
Yeah.
But like, nah, bro. It's different with the word. You gotta hear these things so that you can prepare, man.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with Jake. Jake just want to go through it, but they're gonna be caught off guard. There's some more in there.
Right.
I got one more scripture. Verse 9, and David said, let their table be made a snare and a trap and a stumbling block and a recompense unto them. Let their eyes be darkened that they may not see, and bow down their back all way. And that's happening right now. Jake don't know what to do right now. Jake ain't got no backing right now. If Esau just plainly put the society back in order to get it today, what Jake gonna do, man?
Celebrate
Jake,
4th of July.
Celebrate 4th of July.
That's exactly what Jake is.
Yeah, Jake gonna be on that money bag chase all over
Yeah.
again. No violent protests. None of Jake get killed.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna march again.
They're gonna be
Women at
back in
the
that
forefront.
docile state.
Right. And then Esau got another plan.
Another plan.
Esau got the riches of the world. He don't need to abide by any moral value that people have in their minds at a lower level like we are.
Mm-hmm.
He considers us as useless eaters, but the Most High is turning it up on Esau that he got to do it. But you Jace out there, y'all in that stumbling block because y'all don't want to listen. Like the brother said, the old camp spot at CNN, y'all just walk past. Now y'all throwing bottles at the windows and stuff like that. Those are the places that y'all love to go in. Why y'all gonna destroy that?
Putting graffiti, in the streets.
Right.
And really Jake, like I was saying before, they're like children that, didn't get attention from their parents. Children that didn't get proper attention from their parents and shit. They be really on a temper tantrum.
Mm-hmm.
Niggas is really on a temper tantrum, man.
Yeah.
But see, the government is gonna, fill your taste buds and they're gonna fill it with ass whoopings.
Yeah.
They don't regret the things that they do because Esau's proud, man. See, we see the things that the government do, and we know how to stomach it.
Yeah.
That's the problem with it. We accept
Mm-hmm.
Esau and his wickedness, and we know that this country's not for us, but it doesn't put us in a raging mindset
Mm-hmm.
to go blow up our ex-girl
Yeah.
or the fucking White House. They don't put us in that mentality
Yeah.
because we know how to stomach it, man.
Mm-hmm.
You Jakes can't stomach
The
reality, man. That's why you all bugged out now, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's why America hate us.
Mhm.
That's what LeBron tested, right? Why America hate us.
We know why America. They ain't supposed to love us. They never love us. This is not our
You
risk.
seen how we came over here? You seen the Jake that was over here before, how they lived, and now how they living on reservations?
That's like saying why slave masters hate us.
Yeah.
Right.
The fuck is you? Why would your slave master love you? He's supposed to be your slave master, man. He's supposed to have that resentment towards you.
Exactly.
And us, we understand. We have that natural resentment towards him. Scripture said, "Well, we get that James 5. We'll probably close with that. How the plowman shall overtake the reaper, man." We're in that mindset that we understand who our enemies are. The white man is our enemy, and he was never. It's not in his DNA makeup to love blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It's in him to hate. It tells you in it tells you in Sirach or Ecclesiasticus how all flesh is not the same flesh, and it'll resort to its kind. That's like asking questions why the lions don't like the hyenas.
Right.
Then you start looking at Jay like, yo, what the fuck are you even talking about, man?
Yeah.
That's some high nigga shit, man.
Well, fellas should have the wolf with the lamb.
You're like, yo, why the wolves ain't cool with the gazelles?
Yeah.
Hey, bro, what the fuck is you talking about, man? Excuse my French, but it's just, that's when you start looking at Jake sideways. You don't start, you're like, damn, why is the... Bro, it was designed that way. You have one that's the predator, one that's the prey. If the wolf if the wolf doesn't eat the gazelle, the wolf doesn't eat. You see? If the white man doesn't destroy us and pick off of us, then he doesn't feed his enterprise.
That's the Willie Lynch ladder.
Yeah, that's the Willie Lynch ladder. You know how much the white man has gained from putting us in subjection and beating us down?
Joel 20.
This is a predator-prey relationship. It's either you hunt or be hunted. But see, Jake has a mentality of all things supposed to be equal. There's no such thing as equality, man. Either we're ruling or being ruled over. Now, right now, we're being ruled over, and we understand that. And like I said, we can stomach it. But it's gonna come a time where the rule are gonna be the rulers. You got that?
What you want, James 5:1?
Yeah. Behold, the time shall come where the plowman shall overtake the reaper.
All right, got
Yes, 2.
Yeah, James 2.
Maybe 5 and 2 if I'm not mistaken. Matter of fact, the higher the labors, that's it. Well, it's another one that speaks about the plowman overtaking the reaper, but that's a good. This is in the same narrative. So.
This is James 5 and verse 4. It says, "Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped and entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth,
Which is the Lord of armies. Yeah, that don't mean Sabbath. It actually means armies. So the ones that's been working, the plowmen, like I said, the plowman shall overtake the reaper. The ones that reap are the ones that don't sow. The white man ain't sowing no seeds in this earth, but he reaping everything. Who's the ones that's at the bottom doing the dirty work? What they call in today's time blue collar work, making manual pay or minimum wage. Wage slavery, but they're not getting the maximum benefits of the product that's being distributed.
That's right.
That's Jake. But the scriptures speak about how we're crying, and we see Jake crying right now. We know why Jake doing what he do. We understand. We feel Jake to a certain degree, but it's not the right. They have a zeal, but not according to knowledge.
That's right.
We know why Jake's doing what you're doing. Jake has been mentally destroyed from seeing, that people constantly, being aired out on television, man. But guess what? We have a Savior that's going to come, and he's going to bring that ultimate judgment on the white men and the other nations that touched us. Because the Lord said it touched not the apple of our eye, Zechariah 2 and 5, man.
That's right.
Said, he that toucheth, you toucheth the apple of my eye. We belong unto the Lord. So us having faith in Yahweh Shema Shai, we take a step back from the chaos and let the Lord step in. Because what the scripture says, vengeance is mine. So it all goes full scale with the fire of the Lord being kindled, man.
That's right.
Some more on that, and not we'll close.
It says, verse 5, "Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and have been wanting. Ye have nourished your hearts as in the days of slaughter. Ye have condemned and killed the just, and he do not resist."
Who is that? Lived on the earth. Read that over.
Kind of.
Bad, man.
Yeah, kind of. Starting at verse 5, it says, "Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth."
Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth. One. Who's living? The word pleasure goes into the word even in Genesis. That's Eden.
Eden, yeah.
It's the white man's heaven.
Yeah.
Then Tupac, which I think that was even in the 90s, he came out with a song "White Man's World."
It's on the Machiavelli.
That was on the Machiavelli. What they came out?
96.
96. And he was speaking about how it's the white man's world. White man's living deliciously, man.
Yeah.
Psalm 73, Job 9:24. So you speak about how the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, man.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Fatness of the
The
earth.
fatness of the earth.
It says, and been wanton, ye have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter.
You have nourished your hearts in the day of slaughter. Yeah, because they slaughtered so many people that they came up. You can come up from 100,000 people slave labor. How much more millions? Hundreds of millions. They spoke about how it was literally hundreds of millions of slaves that was at the disposal of this white man from the black, Hispanic, and Native American race during the 1400s up until the 1600s. And they had so many slaves that they did what? They started to expel imports and exports of slaves. They had so many of them. It came a point where they were like, all right, no more distribution of slaves. We're going to cut this market off. We got everything that we need. If they still needed more, they would have never shut it down. But they shut it down at the perfect time so nobody can ever capitalize on that enterprise because they basically already capitalized on it. Keep going.
Verse 6, ye have condemned and killed the just.
Ye have condemned and killed the just. The righteous men, that, the women and children are attached to. Esau killed them, man.
Yeah.
And that's what? That's murder. You taking a man's life from him wrongfully. A lot of those natives, they didn't have no justifiable means in order to kill them. They just wanted the land that they were standing on top of. How much more us? Keep going.
It says, ye have condemned and killed the just, and he doeth not resist you.
And he doesn't even resist you. A lot of these jakes don't even be resisting arrest. You watch these videos where there was one Jake had his hands up. White man goddamn took his face mask down and sprayed him in the face.
Well, had his hands up.
Yeah, he had his hands. He wasn't even resisting. But they say George Floyd, which is more videos coming out, but they say he wasn't even really resisting.
Yeah.
And what did they say? They killed him over a counterfeit $20 bill, man.
Right.
And that's what it takes for you to be so angry to step on that man's neck for 8 minutes strong. And more evidence has came out that they actually worked together for over 17 years, man.
Yeah.
That cop and George Floyd. And there's even a speculation. I don't know if it's actually 100% true, but they were saying he was jealous because of the guy George Floyd had a porno out. I don't know. They say he had a porno out. It's been actually people have been saying it's been true. I didn't look this shit up, but they said that he actually has a porno out. But that cop was basically mad at George Floyd laying it down, man.
Damn.
So that's Esau and his Napoleon. The Napoleon complex, inferiority complex. He hates the black man's BBC. He really hates you, Jakes, because of what you got that he doesn't possess.
Yeah.
What kind of shit is that, man? The devil, man. Keep going.
Verse 7.
And you can't make this stuff up. It ain't like I just come out with shit.
Top of the head.
Yeah, it's articles on that too.
Yeah, look it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it could be true.
Yeah.
And now this guy, the cop that got locked up, this woman filing divorce. And you know what she gonna go to? A George Floyd.
Yeah. You gonna want some of that?
You want some of that? She's like, so this what you what's up? I think she an Edomite too. She look like an Edomite.
God.
But you got it, brother.
This verse 7, it says, be patient therefore, brethren, until the coming of the Lord. See, that's, if I can say, that's what these people are not doing. They're not being patient, because they lack their patience and their long suffering, man. They want to answer when they want it, and the Lord don't work like that.
Nope.
It says, behold, the husbandman waiteth for the precious fruit of the earth, and have long patience for it, until he receive the early and latter rain.
The patience is the key, man. See, Jake is now trying to force the course of the river. They didn't plant things. What did Killer Mike tell them to go home, strategize, mobilize, rearrange themselves?
Lord says, stir not up my love until he
pleases.
Until he pleases him to come. So Jake ain't supposed to be doing that no fucking way.
Yeah.
And that's why niggas don't even know who the fuck is on them side from, excuse my French, but they don't know who on their side from who not on their side right now. It's just a bunch of berserk jakes.
Yeah.
But the scriptures speak about to be patient, man. We know we catching hell. We know we impoverished. We ain't got a pot to pit. We the same black folks that's going through the same hell everywhere. We see what's going on, but why are we reacting different?
Yeah.
Because the scriptures told us to.
That's right.
The scripture says to wait, man. Be patient. Because the Lord can do more in 1 hour than we can do
in a lifetime.
In a lifetime, man.
Yeah, lifetime.
Scripture speak about in 1 hour this place shall be brought down. So what's the point?
Right.
All you're going to do is exhaust yourself.
Yeah.
You're going to get shot in the face a couple times. You're going to get gashed out eyes. You're going to get tore up equipment. Your cars, you're going to get your woman's ass whooped as well as yours. You're just gonna take unnecessary beatings that don't even amount to nothing when the Lord said that He's gonna be at the helm of the battle.
Right.
You think the Lord's gonna take a beating from this? He already took his beating, man. He took his stripes on behalf of us.
Yeah.
So He said that He's gonna be at the front lines, and these devils ain't gonna be. Their arms ain't stretched forth enough to fight against Yahweh Shai. When He comes in that chariot, the scriptures speak about these devils gonna be scared, but they gonna fight. These crackers ain't scared on these grounds fighting a nigga with a.
They proud as hell.
Hell yeah, easy to take out a nigga with a skateboard.
Yeah.
But how easy is it to take out the Savior in a supersized, what the world calls a UFO, man? It ain't so easy.
John.
Keep going.
Last verse says, verse 8. It says, "Be ye also patient. Establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord draweth nigh."
So you got to stabilize yourself. Stabilize yourself. Don't be shaky. Like when you have something that's established, you have an engine in your car, that's stable. But, when it's unstable, it might be something that's going on within it, and it's rattling. You shouldn't be in that rattle mindset, man. You got to be stable. Just like even the tree. Anything that's stable or established is rooted, is anchored. It's basically tied down upon a certain frame that's keeping it afloat and keeping it, like I said, like a helmet. A helmet is to keep your head, adjusted. If somebody hit you in the head with a bullet or anything like that, that takes away from the recoil, so to speak. Or boxers.
Taught you equilibrium.
Yeah. Like sometimes, the boxers that have the things on their head, and then if you get struck, protective equipment. So you want to be stable so that you can be protected. Being stable-minded will protect you very, very effectively, man. And that's what we got to pray for. Pray for more stability. Pray for more patience. Pray to be out of that carnal mindset and be in that spiritual mindset.
It's going to show its appreciation over time.
It's going to show its appreciation. And we're seeing so much stuff that's on the media and on television and it's on, cell phone footage, which is of course the media, that can get you emotional. You're seeing certain things going on, and you might start seeing relatives out there getting their head bust. But are you gonna, man, fuck that, man? What a gun on the, I'm finna go to the gunshop, I'm finna go. Nah, man. Pray to Yahweh Shema Shah. Trust in Yahweh Shema Shah. He's gonna get us there, man.
That's what the scriptures for. Isaiah 33:6. Wisdom and knowledge should be stability of our times.
That's right. So this is all we have for Aki. I hope you brothers were edified. We're going to end it by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakudash.
Double honor to the apostle and Elder Great Millstone. Shalom.
Shalom.